Buonasera.
Grazie.
Welcome to Miataland. Now, for those who don't know, Miataland is located in Umbria, Italy. It's about an hour and a half northwest of Rome, and it is truly a passion project from the founder, Andrea, who started Miataland in 2018. He actually bought his first Miata, an NA, in 1998, then got his second, an NB, in 2000, and he's collected many more over the years. There's actually an entire collection of 52 cars in his private garage that when you stay here at Miataland, you not only get to go on a driving tour like we're doing right now, but you also get to get a tour through his private collection of 52 Miatas. Right now we're driving a 2000 NB, and this is actually in sunburst yellow because Miatas in sunburst yellow have always been these special edition vehicles. The car is bone stock because this is a special edition. It's powered by a 1.6 liter naturally aspirated inline four, making about 110 horsepower. So you gotta remember that in Europe, smaller displacements and less power than in the US. And look at that. This is the part of Italy where you have beautiful rolling hills, the Italian countryside with these smaller villages, not really big historic cities. We actually just came from Florence. It was about a 2-hour drive, and that is a beautiful, the heart and center of the Renaissance. This is a different side to Italy. Obviously very, very different from the highly touristy Rome. So the way this driving tour works is that you're gonna see the nice, beautiful rolling hills, the countryside, you're gonna see some historic sites. It's a 55-kilometer drive, lasts about an hour and a half, and halfway through you swap cars. So if you want to drive every generation of Miata, you can do that, but you'll need at least 2 nights here because you do 1 driving tour per day. You can drive 2 cars per tour. There are only 5 rooms available at Miataland, so it is a very boutique hotel kind of experience. In the actual hotel room, they have a chair that is made from the NA Miata seat. They have a pop-up headlight on the actual nightstand. It is very tastefully done. Andrea and his team are clearly Miata enthusiasts through and through. So what I recommend coming here, I gotta say, it's one of a kind. Like, there's no other experience you're gonna have in the world if you are a Mazda Miata enthusiast as coming to Miataland. I would recommend you actually fly into Rome though, rather than, I came into Zurich and then went down to Milan and then Florence, got a rental car, came out here, because public transit here is going to take you a long time. I don't recommend it. So you want to do a rental car, and I use autoslash.com. They've always given me the best deals, no affiliation, but I got a rental picking up in Florence, dropping off in Rome for 1 day for about 190 euro. It's a shame. I didn't even know Miataland existed until a couple weeks before my trip. And it's thanks to my fellow Miata enthusiasts who told me about this. And I was like, oh wow, I gotta make sure I spend at least a night there and experience such a unique passion project from a fellow car and Miata enthusiast. Checking that item off the bucket list of driving manual sports cars while in Italy. Because I have driven 2 separate rental cars on this trip so far, but driving them on the highway is obviously not fun. Driving in places like this, that's what it's about. It's a cool story. That white ND RF behind us is actually one of one, custom made by Mazda of Italy. I'll actually let Andrea tell you the story.
The chairman of Mazda of Europe, that now is the chairman of Mazda Corporation, and he asked me, do you want one of the RF? Yes, absolutely, I like the car. And I asked if it's possible, I would like to have Imperial white. And if it's possible, with the BBS black rims and black roof. That was not available. And I said, I'm sorry, Andrea, I'm not sure because now we have a production limit, blah, 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 blah. Then, after 4 months, at that time I was working for Jaguar Land Rover in Italy, and we were in the same place of Mazda of Italy. And so I received a phone call from Roberto Di Pietrantonio, the chairman of Mazda of Italy, and he said, Andrea, can we meet in the garage? Because I want to show you something, sometimes happen, okay? So I went down in the garage and I saw a white RF with BBS black wheels. Wow, it's mine. I say, it's like your car? It's your design? Yes. So the car is already registered, is insured, so you can come back home with this car today. Wow, so thank you a lot. And for 2 weeks, I really believe it was a present. Then I received the invoice. but the car is very special. It's with extended Alcantara everywhere, and it's also the Plaquette Miataland exclusive edition. So it was not for free, but was free.
Now, those who have watched my channel previously know that I've driven a lot of Miatas, a lot of NAs, a lot of NCs, and a lot of NBs. This is actually my first time behind the wheel of an NB. And it feels a lot closer to an NA compared to anything else. No surprise there. But we're not going to be doing our standard Canyon review here because we're doing a driving tour. We're not trying to get to the limits. Everyone has different driving abilities. You don't want any incidents. We're all in a foreign country, etc. Oh, that is gorgeous. Just see these pockets of light breaking through the clouds off in the distance. Absolutely gorgeous. It's amazing that even with these NB Miatas, even the NA actually, older vehicle, the manual transmissions are so tight, they feel so modern. Such a pleasure to use. All the inputs, for a car this old, it's shocking how natural the inputs are because cars I feel like have been getting better and better. For a car this old to have inputs this good is unusual. It feels far more modern. 25 years. No issue double clutching, heel towing, rev matching, even though I'm a taller driver. And actually, I feel fairly comfortable right now, surprisingly so. The seat is, of course, all the way back. And the steering wheel does not telescope. Let's just say that I felt more uncomfortable in other smaller sports cars. Italy has been such a treat as well. For those who haven't visited, I definitely recommend you do. I actually went here primarily to see the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Lewis Hamilton has been my favorite driver for several years now, and I first saw him in 2019 at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, and then we went to the Japanese Grand Prix last year. And because Hamilton had just joined Ferrari, that's why I wanted to see him at Monza. But as we know, Ferrari's not doing too hot. But we explored Switzerland, we explored northern Italy, we're now working our way down. And it's interesting because when you start traveling as an adult that has more experience, you start picking up on things that maybe you didn't when you were younger, or that maybe you don't even appreciate in your home country as an adult. I made a video that a lot of you guys enjoyed on how German and Japanese cars differ, why they feel so different, and how it's a reflection of the culture. I'm recording another video on Italian and German cars based on this recent trip, and how those differ and how they reflect the culture as well. You can find that coming soon, and once it is live, you'll find that linked below. But man, the food here, the views, the history, the art, I absolutely love it. The Italian people are so passionate, and that comes through in so many different ways, from how they want you to feel certain emotions when you eat a food, to even the emotion that they exhibit when they drive. We had an Uber driver who was, let's just say, very passionate. I'll tell you the full story in that other video. The roads in just about all of Europe are a lot tighter, a lot smaller, and having a smaller car here is actually more convenient. So even when you get your rental car, don't be shy to go with one of the smaller vehicles. I wouldn't blame you for feeling surprised or confused to be like, wait, why is there a Miataland in Italy of all places? You have a Japanese roadster that's inspired by older British roadsters in a different European country of Italy. But I gotta say, it actually feels quite right. Top down, beautiful Mediterranean weather, gorgeous views, rolling hills, and fellow passionate car enthusiasts. I hope this serves as inspiration for some other passionate car enthusiasts to create similar types of experiences around the world, whether that's with Miatas or whatever other enthusiast vehicle you want to choose. This is such a unique experience. Like, I'm glad we did this. Such a unique experience. My girlfriend's not even a car enthusiast, and she agrees. When I asked Andrea, why do we have two NAs, an NB and an ND? Why is there no love for the NC? He said no one wants to drive it. And I know the stereotype is that the NC is the boat, of course it's the largest, the heaviest, etc. But I think that is so exaggerated, and I've driven so many examples of amazing NCs. He has NCs in his collection, and I'm guessing that if you were to contact him ahead of your stay and say, hey, I would love to drive an NC, that he'd be able to accommodate you. But I just found it hilarious that the default is no one wants to drive it, so we're not even gonna have one out here to choose from. We're gonna have every generation except. I made a video on how to enjoy driving without speeding, and I'm actually using some of those techniques right now. You guys can go watch that video for the full explanation. But one of those techniques is actually trying to not use the brake pedal. So doing engine braking, trying to be smoother with my shifts, playing around with heel, toe, and double clutch, and trying to learn this vehicle and hear what it's telling me, understand it better, so I can drive it the way that it wants to be driven. But now it's time to hop into a different vehicle. If you guys are interested in Miataland yourself, then use the link below. Special discount for my subscribers. I think you're gonna love it. Much love, my friends, and I'll see you all in that next one.